everyone, this is Herrick bringing you another episode of Action Figure This Out. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Skelegod. Now, I picked this guy up at Marshall's out of all places, and it was substantially discounted, so I knew that I had to pick this guy up to go against the He-Man that I just got. I'm happy to have stumbled upon this gem, and I'm excited to review it. So before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the packaging here. On the front, you're going to see it says Masterverse at the top. Underneath that, it says Netflix, a Netflix original series. It says Masters of the Universe Revelation at the bottom, and under that it says Skelegod. On the side, you're going to see a picture of Skelegod from the TV show. And on the back, you're going to see that exact same picture. Now, there's no bio for him here, simply because this is an international release. You can also see the rest of the figures in this wave. Lastly, on the side, it simply says Skelegod, and for anybody who needs it, here's the barcode at the bottom of the box. So perfect! Let's action figure this out and take a look at this figure out of the packaging. Skeletor lives his life with one singular purpose, to control the unlimited powers of the universe. Time after time, the Bane of Eternia was thwarted by He-Man and his heroic warriors. What kind of monster would be unleashed should they be unable to stop the Lord of Destruction? Surely a raging storm of horror and terror, even the bravest dare not to even imagine. So right away, we're just going to be taking a quick look at the height of this figure. So, in inches, Skeletor stands at roughly around 7.5 inches. So that equates to roughly around 19 centimeters tall. So that's pretty good. Before we get started, we're going to take a quick look at his accessories. So Skelegod comes with a pair of hands for holding his swords, as you can see. They're also really detailed, just like his regular hands that he comes with. He comes with this plasma piece that you can put over his fist to make it look like he's punching with power. And he comes with the power sword. So this is really detailed. As you can see, the hilt is painted brown. And the sword is actually, the blade of the sword is painted silver. And this hilt piece is just molded in gray. So that's pretty good. So right away, I'm just going to say that this figure is amazing. He's a big and hefty figure with tons of detail. There's tons of detail in his armor pieces, which look great. The shade of green that they have for his neck piece is pretty sweet, and his armor has that same green going throughout his chest and his shoulder pads, which accentuate the color of his neck. Now the H symbol on his chest really sticks out. I believe this is the same H symbol that came in the He-Man from the Masters of the Universe Revelation, also in this wave. His shoulder pieces are huge. They add to his menacing look. His horns are pretty big as well, and it harkens back to the horns on the original figure staff. As you can see. Pretty detailed. His horns have these lines that go across all of them, so that's really nice. It helps it stick out and look that much more badass. This version of Skeletor is a must grab because of how badass he looks. Like the He-Man figure, he has pinless joints, so pinless elbows, pinless knees, which is really amazing. You're going to notice that his gauntlets are just a floating piece. They're floating, so you can move it around. So when you swivel his hands, they also move around, which looks pretty decent. And that's nice. I believe that his cape comes off too, and you could take all the armor off of him. The only armor that you can't really take off is his shin guards. Now, since he's all dark blue and purple, he doesn't have a wash on him, but that's just fine. As I said before, this guy is a big and hefty figure, and I'm glad to have him. The material on his cape is pretty nice. It's more of a thick kind of cloth than anything, and it's in 3 pieces, as you can see. There's a bottom layer, a middle layer, which has these pieces of plastic on it to weigh it down, so that's nice, and then this layer over here. So that's pretty decent. His loincloth looks amazing. It's really detailed, just like He-Man's. And he has these skull-like things on his shin guards with the green eyes, that same shade as his neck. So that's really, really decent. His hands have these claw-like things to them, and they're huge fingers. So that adds to his menacing look. He looks really badass with this. Now, I believe if you take the shoulder pads off, you're going to see his head is pretty small compared to the rest of his body. But with these shoulder pads, his head looks just fine. Given the length of his horns, it makes it look in proportion with each other when he has his shoulder pads on. Alright, so now that we've taken a closer look at him, let's take a look at his articulation. Alright, so in his neck and head, he has a dumbbell joint, which gives you the ability to look up this much. He can look down more. He can look side to side, no problem. And he has a decent amount of tilt. So that's alright. For his shoulders, he has a hinge, which gives you way more than 90 degrees, which is amazing. He can go forward, no problem. He can go back even more. And he has a bicep cut, which gives you full 360-degree rotation. He has a double-jointed pinless elbow, which when you utilize both joints, he can get way more than 90 degrees. He can go all the way up. He has a hinge on his wrist, which gives you the ability to rotate 360, and he can hinge forward this much, and hinge back this much. He has a diaphragm cut, which doesn't really give you too much rotation. You're going to get most rotation out of the waist, but you can somewhat turn it. He can go forward this much, he can go back this much, which is just a tad bit, and he can go side to side like this, no problem. I believe he has a single ball peg in his diaphragm. In his waist, he has a waist cut, which can swivel side to side, 360, no problem. For his hips, he has a ball joint, which when you utilize both joints can give you a split like this. He can kick forward almost 90 degrees, no problem. He can kick back this much. And he has an upper thigh cut, which gives you full 360-degree rotation. A double-jointed pinless knee, which when you utilize both joints, you can kick back more than 90 degrees. He has a boot cut, which gives you full 360-degree rotation. And he has a hinge in his ankle, which gives you the ability to hinge back this far, kick up this much. And he has a forward-facing pin for a rocker. So, now that we've taken a look at his articulation, let's take a look and see how he compares with other figures. Alright, so first we're going to see how Skelegod compares with the Masterverse Masters of the Universe 40th Anniversary He-Man and Black Adam from the Black Adam movie. Okay, so now we're going to see how he compares with the Marvel Legends Moon Knight from the Moon Knight TV show and the retro-carded Beast. Okay, so next we're going to see how he compares with the McFarlane DC Multiverse Tim Drake Robin and the DC Multiverse Rebirth Batman. And now we're going to see how he compares with the McFarlane Curse of the White Knight Azrael and Azrael in his Suit of Sorrows. And next we have him standing next to the McFarlane Crime Syndicate Owlman and Superwoman. Next we have him standing next to the Green Lantern John Stewart and Kyle Rayner by McFarlane. And now, standing next to the Marvel Legends retro-carded Scorpion and the Marvel Legends retro-carded Shocker. And here we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends cel-shaded Spider-Man and the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Okay, so here we have him standing next to the old school Commando Spawn by McFarlane and the McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Commando Spawn. And now we have him standing next to the McFarlane Warhammer 40k Chaos Space Marine and the McFarlane Blood Angels Primaris Lieutenant. And here we have him standing next to the McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion and the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion. Next we have him standing next to a McFarlane Aliens vs Predator Alien and a McFarlane Aliens vs Predator Predator. Okay, next is the 1000 Toys Hellboy and the previews exclusive Mezco Hellboy. So now we have him standing next to the McFarlane All Might from My Hero Academia and Endeavor. Okay, so next we're going to see how he compares with a few Black Series figures. We have the Black Series Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi and Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett, the Throne Room version. So, I think that's going to be about it for today. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Action Figure This Out, where we took a look at the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Skelegod. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews of your favorite action figures. As well, don't hesitate to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite version of Skeletor? And who's your favorite character in the Masters of the Universe line? Again, this is Herrick with Action Figure This Out, signing off.